It's 1971, and you're standing on the sun-baked bitumen of Mount Panorama. The air's thick with the smell of high-octane fuel and burning rubber. Suddenly, a beast of a car roars past, leaving everyone blown away. That was just one of the incredible Aussie muscle cars we're about to show you. These weren't just cars, they were the stuff of legends. But here's the kicker. They've all but disappeared. Want to know what happened to these tire-shredding monsters? Keep watching. Number 9. 1972. Chrysler Valiant Charger RTE49. As Ford's dreams went up in smoke, Chrysler was busy crafting a legend. The 1972 Valiant Charger RTE49 was about to turn the performance world on its head with just 6 cylinders. This was Chrysler's ultimate weapon in the muscle car wars, and it didn't need a massive V8 to prove its worth. The E49 was the pinnacle of Chrysler's 6-cylinder performance, packing a 4.3-litre inline-6 engine nicknamed the Hemi 6. But what made this power plant truly special was its triple Weber carburetor setup, a configuration that earned it the moniker 6-pack. This unique engine could rev to a screaming 7,000 RPM, producing an impressive 302 horsepower. On the track, the E49 lived up to its giant killer nickname. It dominated the Bathurst 500 in 1972, securing the top 3 positions in its class. The car's lightweight design and high-revving engine made it a formidable opponent, often outpacing V8-powered rivals. But like all good things, the E49's reign was short-lived. Only 149 units were ever produced, making it one of the rarest Australian muscle cars. The oil crisis of 1973 and changing emissions regulations spelled the end for this high-performance icon. Number 8. 1973. Holden Torana GT-RXU1 Bathurst Special. Just as the muscle car world was reeling from emission regulations, Holden had an ace up its sleeve. The 1973 Holden Torana GTR XU1 Bathurst Special was about to prove that sometimes the small bloke packs the hardest punch. This compact car was Holden's answer to the V8 Goliaths dominating the racing scene. The XU1's lightweight design and nimble handling made it a formidable opponent on the track. Like a scrappy underdog, it darted through corners where bigger cars faltered. Its high-revving inline-6 engine punched well above its weight class. In 1972, racing legend Peter Brock piloted the XU1 to a historic victory at the Bathurst 500, outpacing the bigger V8s. This David versus Goliath win sent shockwaves through Australian motorsport, reshaping the industry's perspective on performance. The Bathurst Special version, rare and sought after, featured unique components, making it the holy grail for Torana enthusiasts. Number 7. 1977. Holden Torana A9X. While the XU1 was a giant killer, Holden wasn't done pushing the boundaries. They were about to unleash a monster that would make even the most die-hard Ford fans weak at the knees. Enter the 1977 Holden Torana, a car that rewrote the rules of Australian motorsport. The A9X was Holden's ultimate Group C weapon, designed to dominate touring car racing in the late 70s. And dominate it did. This pocket rocket featured a unique rear-facing bonnet scoop that fed cool air directly into the engine bay, giving it a distinctive look and a performance edge. But it wasn't just about looks. The A9X packed a serious punch under the bonnet, with a 308 cubic inch V8 engine that could produce up to 400 horsepower. This power, combined with its lightweight design, made the A9X a force to be reckoned with on the track. The car's crowning moment came in 1979 when Peter Brock piloted it to a legendary 6-lap victory at Bathurst. Brock's dominance was so complete that he set a new lap record on the final lap, just to prove he could. This performance cemented the A9X's status as the pinnacle of Holden muscle cars. Number 6. 1972 Ford XA Falcon GTHO Phase 4. Just as Holden reached its peak, Ford was about to unleash a monster that would make the A9X look like a family sedan. But this Falcon's story isn't one of triumph. It's a tale of what could have been. The 1972 Ford XA Falcon GTHO Phase 4 was meant to be the ultimate track weapon, designed to dominate the racing scene and leave its competitors in the dust. Ford's engineers pulled out all the stops for this beast. They fitted it with a cold air intake that gulped oxygen like a deep sea diver, and a rear wing that could have doubled as a picnic table. Under the bonnet lurked a fire-breathing 351 Cleveland V8, rumoured to pump out over 400 horsepower. The Phase 4 was so advanced, it made its cancelled predecessor look like yesterday's news. But before this Phantom Falcon could hit the streets, controversy struck. The infamous supercar scare of 1972 put the brakes on Ford's plans faster than you can say Bathurst. Only 4 Phase 4s were ever built, 3 prototypes and 1 lonely production model. These rare birds have become the stuff of legend, with collectors willing to part with small fortunes just to own a piece of this almost was history. Number 5. 1974 Chrysler Charger 770 SE E55. While Ford's supercar dreams were crushed, Chrysler was quietly preparing its own stealth bomber for the streets. The 1974 Chrysler Charger 770 SE E55 was the company's last hurrah in the Australian muscle car scene, and what a swan song it was. At first glance, the E55 looked like any other Charger, a bit of luxury mixed with muscle. But under that unassuming bonnet lurked a secret weapon, a 340 cubic inch V8 engine, a first for the Charger lineup. This V8 packed a punch, delivering 275 horsepower and torque that could tear up the tarmac. The E55 balanced raw power with luxury, reflecting evolving Australian tastes. Chrysler equipped it with plush bucket seats and air conditioning, creating a comfortable yet potent ride. It was a gentleman's cruiser with a street racer's heart. Timing, however, wasn't on its side. By 1974, the muscle car era was waning, and only 124 E55s were produced. This silent assassin deserved more time in the spotlight. Number 4. 1971 Holden Monaro HQ GTS 350. Just when you thought the muscle car era was winding down, Holden had one last ace up its sleeve. The 1971 Monaro HQ GTS 350 wasn't just another Aussie bruiser, it was the final roar of a dying breed. This beast marked the end of Holden's big-engine Monaro line, and boy, did they go out with a bang. Under the bonnet lurked a Chevrolet-sourced 350 cubic inch V8, a powerhouse that gave this Aussie icon some serious grunt. It wasn't just about raw power though. The HQ GTS 350 brought a fresh look to the table, with sleeker lines and a more modern profile that set it apart from its predecessors. Gone were the boxy shapes of the past. This Monaro was all about smooth, flowing curves. But here's the kicker. Despite its impressive specs and eye-catching design, the HQ GTS 350's time in the spotlight was painfully short. As the world grappled with fuel crises and changing regulations, big-engined muscle cars were quickly falling out of favour. Holden's last hurrah in the muscle car arena was cut short, leaving us to wonder what might have been if the automotive landscape hadn't shifted so dramatically. Number 3. Ford Falcon Cobra XC. Ford Australia faced a surplus of Falcon coupes. Their solution? Create a limited edition model to clear out the stock. This marketing exercise unexpectedly birthed an icon, the Falcon Cobra XC. Sporting a striking white and blue colour scheme inspired by Shelby Cobra Mustangs, it embodied Australia's bold racing spirit. Ford offered the Cobra with engine options ranging from a 4.9-litre V8 to a fire-breathing 5.8-litre Cleveland V8. Initially planning 400 units, demand soared, leading to 400 hardtops and 100 utilities being produced. The Cobra's instant popularity caught Ford off guard, transforming a stock clearance into a collector's dream. Today, the rarer big block models fetch eye-watering prices, cementing the Cobra's status as an unexpected Australian automotive legend. What started as a simple inventory solution became a pivotal moment in muscle car history, proving that sometimes the most iconic creations arise from the most unlikely circumstances. Number 2. 1973 Ford Landau Coupe. Ford's 1973 Landau Coupe ambitiously merged luxury and muscle, aiming to redefine the Aussie automotive scene. This flagship model boasted a sleek design with hidden headlights and a vinyl roof, powered by a 351 Cleveland V8. The plush interior, featuring wood grain accents and leather upholstery, offered comfort rarely seen in Australian cars. However, this luxury came at a steep price, positioning the Landau between affordable muscle and premium imports. The Landau's identity crisis soon became apparent, being too posh for muscle enthusiasts and too brutish for luxury buyers. The vinyl roof proved impractical in the harsh Australian sun, often causing rust. Hidden headlights frequently malfunctioned, leaving owners in the dark. Combined with the oil crisis making the thirsty V8 expensive, Ford sold only a fraction of anticipated units, cutting production short and relegating the Landau to obscurity. Number 1. 1978 Holden HZ GTS. As the 70s drew to a close, the muscle car era seemed all but over. Yet Holden wasn't ready to throw in the towel. The 1978 HZ GTS emerged as a last-ditch effort to keep the Aussie muscle car dream alive in a changing automotive landscape. The HZ GTS was more than just raw power. It introduced the game-changing radial-tuned suspension, a revolutionary system that dramatically improved handling and cornering. This wasn't just about straight-line speed anymore. The HZ GTS could actually take corners with finesse, a far cry from the tail-happy muscle cars of yesteryear. Under the bonnet, Holden offered a range of engine options. The 308 cubic inch V8 was still available, but it was clear that its days were numbered. Stricter emissions regulations and rising fuel costs were pushing manufacturers towards smaller, more efficient engines. The HZ GTS tried to strike a balance, offering both performance and practicality in a changing world. But despite its advancements, the HZ GTS marked the end of an era. It was the last of its kind, a final roar from the golden age of Aussie muscle. As the automotive industry shifted towards more economical and environmentally friendly options, the HZ GTS stood as a testament to the raw, unbridled power that once ruled the roads. As we've cruised through this lineup of lost Aussie muscle, it's clear these machines were more than just cars. They were the heartbeat of a nation's automotive passion. From the roar of their engines to the smell of burning rubber, these icons captured the spirit of an era. Their legacy lives on in the memories of those who witnessed their power firsthand, and in the stories passed down through generations of car enthusiasts. These forgotten heroes of the track and street remind us of a time when raw power and engineering ingenuity reigned supreme. They shaped not just Australian motorsport, but the very culture of the country. Even though they're gone, their influence can still be felt in the DNA of modern performance cars. So guys, we want to hear from you. What's your favourite Aussie muscle car memory? Did you ever catch a glimpse of one of these rare beasts in the wild? Share your stories in the comments below and keep the spirit of these legends alive.